Hey everybody, what's up? Brett Mix here from Macho Wrestling 101. Hit like and subscribe if you like classic wrestling talk. Plus, we do videos of up-to-date stuff like Raws and SmackDowns and live events. We'll be doing Fastlane this Saturday, amongst many others. Today I come back with a Raw review from last night's October 2nd, 2023 Raw from San Jose, California, in the Shark Tank. They call that because that's where the San Jose Sharks play hockey, obviously. We begin with an impromptu attack, which is interesting that they do that. They open the show with an attack. You want to grab the two viewers as soon as you can during football season. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax were brawling there in the middle of the ring. Then Ripley, Nia kept coming until Ripley came in, and all four ladies brawled. And it took a lot of security and officials to break them up. That kind of spot that they do. Then went to commercial, and then Michael Cole puts over the contract signing later for the Intercontinental title. We got Drew on Miz TV, Rollins promo for later in the night. That all is put over, but Priest and Dom come to the ring as they're in the ring when the commercial comes back. We're in the ring with the Judgment Day now. Mommy is on the microphone and telling the audience to show some respect for the Judgment Day. And I noticed how the ring's all purple. Do they just make it purple for her, or like for the Judgment Day, or do they ask to make it purple? Always wondered that, man. Not sure. So anyways, Mummy says she's disappointed in Priest. Got to check my notes here. I wrote notes here. She said she's disappointed in Priest as the fans ooh and ah. Then the fans pop big for Priest, saying that Dominic's the one that doesn't have a title, and then the crowd ooh and ah again, and Priest puts the spotlight back on Dom. So Mummy says to Dom, you better make it count when you face Trick Williams for the North American title, or else don't bother coming home. So that's intriguing. Uso's music hit, and Jey Uso came out to a huge ovation. Dom tells Priest he will take care of Jey. A whoop his ass chant starts, and Dom gets a super kick as JD McDonough comes out and attacks Jey. And he couldn't do the outnumbers game, though, as the Judgment Day attacked J.D. McDonough and company attacked Jey until Cody Rhodes came running down to the ring, and Adam Pearce makes the match for Judgment Day. Or not for Judgment Day. He makes match for Fastlane. It's Judgment Day versus them two, versus Jey and Cody. So that's the match he makes for the pay-per-view. That's all good. Next, we have Jade Cargill coming in with a big reputation. A lot of news stories citing her rival for WWE. They try and make this a big thing, and it is a big thing. But they're hyping it up to be a big thing too. So we'll see how that goes. Next, we had a match here. Alpha Academy. Chad Gable took on. I wanted to say Ivar, but that's later. Took on Kaiser and Vinci from Imperium. Gable gets out of a hammerlock from Kaiser, an impressive form for the front flip into an armbar, into a drop step over toe hold, and a front face lock. Nice chain wrestling. The whole match, Otis needed a hot tag as Imperium cut off their half of the ring and made frequent tags, and just isolated the Alpha Academy in their corner. Finally, Otis does get the hot tag, and Vinci is the one who runs away in the ring. A huge slam by Otis, and then a caterpillar maneuver. Otis from the second rope, and Vinci on the outside grabbed his leg, and Gable with the crossbody to the outside. And then Otis hit a thrust kick to Kaiser, and Vinci pinned Otis at about 7 to 8 minutes of solid tag wrestling. So that's how that went. Otis hit a thrust kick by Kaiser. Or was it to Kaiser? Sorry. That's how Vinci pinned Otis at about 7-8 minutes. My notes are a little sloppy on that ending. But it's all good. It's just a mid-lower card mid-match. They show the highlights of Tiffany Stratton and Becky Lynch. So many near falls in that match, it looked like. And it kind of bothers me. Like, these days, they always have these near falls. So many finishers. It used to be when there's a finisher, maybe someone will get out. Maybe once. But so many, it feels like today they have to do fucking 6 different finishers and to make the match. Oh, you guys know what I mean. If you're still here listening to my review, you get me. Well, I don't know why they do that. I mean, I know why they do that, but it lessens the importance of a match in the future, because then you're just going to be expecting more. And sooner or later, guys, we're going to get to a point where it's going to be 7 or 8 kickouts instead of just the 5 or 6 that we have now. Because they have to keep one-upping each other. Anyway, that's just a minor gripe of me. Maybe I'll make a rant video about that one day. Next up, we got the contract signing between first Bronson Reed. First on Bronson Reed took on Cedric Alexander, and this is just a squash match. Bronson Reed gets the victory after he hits a tsunami, and you say he took on Cedric Alexander. Cedric Alexander didn't even get an intro, so not much to make up there. But Gunther makes a good point about his clothing when we have the sit-down promo between Gunther and Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa. He doesn't wear suit clothes. He just wears his regular clothes. And Ciampa says, "Your attire says all I need to hear about you," because Gunther's dressed, nice suit, and he makes a nice point about his clothing. They just talk about the IC title, and I meant to write a complaint there that I wish this feud was about something more than just having the title. But you know what? I can't complain because they're making that title look prestigious right now. And I used to complain when they didn't make it about the title. So now that something is being about the title, I'm not gonna fucking complain. I'm gonna be happy with what I get, because that would make me a hypocrite if I complained about this. So I'm happy that they're making it about the title. Would it be better if there was something more about this feud than the title? Sure. But I am not going to complain. They are making that title look very prestigious. So, anyway, Gunther made a good point. How they're talking wrestling during the build. The actual look, he said everything was important except for the look of the title. I would change the look of the title. I'm a fan of the early 2000s look for Intercontinental titles. So they say the match is tonight, so that's an exciting thing to look forward to. Next, we had Xavier Woods take on Ivar, the Viking Raiders. So one half of the New Day takes on one half of the Viking Raiders takes on 1/4 of the New Day. These two guys got into a pretty good match here. Ivan and Xavier both did bumps off the apron. You know how the apron's HD. He got drop kicked into the apron, and then he charged at him, and he fell back first into the apron. Did Ivar when he was charging for Xavier? Ivar continues to lay waste to the New Day with a Carnage powerbomb, and then a big splash on both in the corner. Ivar hits from the top a spinning moonsault off the top to both men, and that gets a holy shit chant. And that was that's what rung the bell. Just checking to see if anything else. Nope. Rollins and Cole do a promo in the ring next. Cole asks Rollins why the hell he's putting his body through this. And something fucked up happened here, guys. Something fucked up happened. I'm not kidding here. I looked at Michael Cole's hair. I looked at his hair, and it was gray, and I said to myself in my mind, how long has he been there? And then I tried to remember the last time I remembered. And I'm like, oh yeah, like 1997. But I remember he had this blonde, spiky hair. And I fucking kid you not, the next lines coming out of Seth Rollins' mouth when he was in the interview with Michael Cole is, how long have you been here? And then he says 26 years. It's like they read my mind and went right on the I couldn't fucking believe that. That's how... There's something weird with life, man. Like, that was the biggest deja vu, weirdest thing I've ever heard of. Because in my mind, I went, wow, he's been with the WWE like a 1/4 of a century. And then the next thing he says is 26 years. What? Nothing had anything to do with Michael Cole's tenure until I thought of it. And then Seth Rollins says it. And talks about how he has passion. He does too. Back to the review. It's just amazing. back to the review, and then Shinsuke Nakamura came out because they had a pre-recorded promo playing to distract Rollins, and he hit the Shinkasa twice, and that match isn't going to get less than 3 stars and 3/4 because it's a last man standing match, right? So that they're gonna tear the house down at that. That's going to be a good one. But I just can't believe during that promo that I thought the same thing before Rollins even said it, and before Cole even said that. That was just a tripping moment, man. Like, that just made me think. Like, just, I don't know. It was so weird. Natty backstage tells Tegan Nox that she knows how it feels to be disappointed. Oh, really? So she must know how we feel when watching Raw for the last part of the last 20 years. That's disappointment. Just kidding. Nox went out, well, for real. Nox went out and faced Green. Natty came out to no reaction backstage or whenever her theme hits, which is a shame because that siren, it makes me think of Bret Hart, and that should never have a no reaction, but it does with Natty, unfortunately. Nox pinned Green. Natty raises her hand. Next we get Drew. I don't know what character I am, so I'll play it McIntyre. Jay Uso talks about Fastlane. Byron Saxton smiles like a geek when Jay leaves because he calls him Oos. Then Drew goes on to talk about how he's... I don't know, Drew always has a weird talking point when he talks to the crowd. He doesn't know if he's teaching social studies. He doesn't know if he's getting ready for a fight. He doesn't know if he's turning heel. He doesn't know if he's going to be a face. He doesn't know who he's going to be. Which is interesting because Miz calls him Two-Face. Then Miz quotes 1980s movie Stand By Me, a Rob Reiner flick that's based off a Stephen King novel. The Body it was called, but it's called Stand By Me in a movie. And he says, I don't shut up. I grow up, and when I look at you, I throw up. He said something like that. And then he went, ugh. Either way, we got an impromptu match with Drew squashing the Miz. Jackie Redmond talks about Fastlane with Trick Williams. They get interrupted by the Judgment Day. Then they preview the NXT matches, and each time I see Charlotte, I cringe. I hope the fucking God that she doesn't win the triple threat match and pick the title by pinning Asuka and making Io Sky still look strong. I hope that's not what happens. Because what other point would there be to have Charlotte in the match? Next up, we had Gunther and Ciampa. My only gripe about this match is that it had 3 commercial breaks. 3. They did a great job in the ring. I took a ton of notes, but I just want to get to the majority of it because I've spent a lot of time trying to dissect my notes. I got to make them a little bit easier to read the next time I do this on video. Sorry guys if I've been stalling for any of this. I know I want to be doing good reviews here for the up-to-date stuff because that's what a lot of you like. So I'll get better at that. It's just some of my notes are a little bit interjected. I got to make them a little bit point form so I can go off like this. I did play-by-play of this match actually. Like Ciampa elevated himself. He had the wrist lock on Gunther, the same hand that Gunther has been worked on. Ciampa wears him down for the Sicilian stretch, and basically all match he just tried to get him into that Sicilian stretch and weakening the arm and the wrist of Gunther with an arm bar and then a wrist lock, and then all of his offense was to the arm. Gunther just hit suplexes and chops with his right arm. He became a southpaw in defense, and just such a great in-ring general is Gunther. You can see why he's the Intercontinental Champion this long, and why the company is so high on him. He wrestles with such confidence, and his sleeper was enough to get it done in about 13 and a half minutes of TV time, but in reality it went closer to 25 with those 3 commercials. I'm not rating it a classic like many people are. I think it's like about 3.5 stars. I just think the 3 commercial breaks, it's inexcusable. I really do. I rate this Raw 6.5 out of 10 for October 2nd, 2023 from San Jose, California. Last week was 6. I believe the 5.5 was the week before, so it's steadily improving slowly but surely. It was a go-home show, so let's see how they do next week, the night after, or 2 nights after a pay-per-view. So 6.5 out of 10, and the Ciampa and Gunther match, I gave it 3.5 stars. It probably deserved more, but we didn't see it. I mean, maybe the clip version. I watched the clip version, but maybe I would think differently if I watched it a second time. But it just seemed like they were just looking for their special maneuvers, and they just took a slow pace to get there. Definitely a great match. I'm glad we got it, but that's just my opinion. If we only had 2 commercials, maybe it would be closer to 4 stars. It's no fault to the men. It's just fault to how it was displayed on TV. Anyway, I look forward to watching SmackDown Friday, doing a review on that, and then Fastlane, and then doing a review on that Sunday, and then I'll be back here again after the other review Monday. Plus, I pump out videos each day, so hit like and subscribe for Classic Wrestling. Thanks for watching the Raw review. I'll be back next time. I'm Brett Mix from Macho Wrestling 101, and I'm out.